My microphone was turned off again. I think let me just first check if the stream is working right now. So like if that's working. Just want to talk about a little about the mechanics I was thinking for the game. So let me just first check if everything's just working. Okay, this is my channel. Here's my channel. Alright, I think we're live, right? Yeah, we're live. So I was just thinking about like trying to find a solution for this, I don't know how to explain it. If I just zoom out a little, we're gonna see like how the material is working. I just created in Unreal, so it's kind of a small process material, you know, like it just gets the camera position and then just breaks it out, and then eventually just to create a post-process effect, just to desaturate the environment, you know, like when I just like take it like, set this number real small. This is the multiplier. You're gonna see it just gets the camera position, and then just like with the camera position, it's just desaturating the material. Like I'm thinking about creating some kind of a like cold warm system, you know, like just to push player to the point where I want them to be. So right now, just like playing with this multiplier here, you know, like real time inside the game, just to get the player I don't know, find that specific point I'm thinking about, you know, like I just want to force the player to come to a specific point to play with some material settings and everything, or just like, you know, like in the so okay, first of all, you know, like I want my player, first of all, you know, like the player is just going to just like summon inside of a like level, and then the player is not aware like which specific point the player has to come, and I just want to push the player to that specific point somehow without actually just like giving some kind of a directions, or like I don't know, like map system or something that just supposed to feel natural, you know, like so this is the reason I created this thing here. But I want this thing to just like, let me just check real quick. I wanna create, like, I'm not that sure of it if it's gonna work or not, but the material I created is called new material 1, and then I want to create an instance of that material. First go to the material, just make sure like every single thing I want here is just like parameters, so like eventually I can just like control them outside of the level. So this is the, like I said, the post-process material. I want to be able to play with this specific multiplier here, just like going to add a scalar parameter to that thing, and then like just make sure it's already a parameter. And then so like this is supposed to be something real small, you know, like it's supposed to be something between, just like I'm going to break this first of all. Okay, so it has to be something between like points 001. So I can just get the distance. It would be that would be kind of difficult, right? I have to play with it. Like maybe instead of like playing with that one, you know, I can just play with the, instead of camera position here. Yeah, but not. No, that's cool. I have no idea how to do it. So like maybe I just create another parameter here, which I'm going to be setting to something like 1, and then I'm going to divide it with the second parameter here, which is going to be just like set outside of the level. If I just set it like 1000, you know, like it's gonna be smaller. If I just, let's first of all, let's check, okay, so let's go here and then check, you know, like right now it's yeah, so point 001, and instead of that, if I had like 1, I mean the whole scene is going to be like colorful, you know, like, but if the number is small, you know, like instead of 1, if I had it like 0.0001, something like this. Okay, it's going to be like total gray, you know, like me. I mean, probably it's not total gray, you know, like if I just move real far away from this point here, you're gonna see it's gonna be colorful, but like when you come close to it, it's gonna be like monochrome. So what I'm trying to, like, I'm trying to get it as small as possible, so so it will be gray. And if I have it high, and the way to get it high is to divide it with something something smaller. So like this is the like I said, the parameter I'm going to be like controlling outside of the blueprint, this one here. And when I get it real small, I mean the number here is going to be high, and when the number here is high, okay, so this is what I'm going to get. You know, like I want to play with the specific material here, just to get the, okay, so this looks fine. Okay, and then I'm going to the instance here. I'm going to change the post-process material with the instance. So I'm going to the instance and then clicking this here. I'm going to make this number higher. I don't know why it's not working. Material instance. Okay, so this is not the one. It's going to be new material 1 underscore. Okay, so I want to get it something like 0.1 or 0.0001. For some reason it doesn't work. Just make sure I just. Hey, yeah. So this is not the material I was. Oh God, I'm not doing it in post-process settings. I'm doing it outside of the server. That. I was just confused, so we're going to get this one here. Okay. And right now we have it like 0.00001, and then like just increase it. Okay. When I increase it, and then when I lower it, you guys don't see a difference probably. I don't know, it's not working. Wait a second. Okay, for some reason, I mean I have to get it real high. Okay, so real high means in this case, you know, like I have to be real far away from the specific object, you know. I mean, if I stay here, okay, so let's get it back to 1000 or something. Okay, so when it's 1,000,000 or something, which means, I mean, we have to divide this number with some, or maybe instead of dividing it with a number, you know, like we have to set this one to 100 or something. So, okay, let's just set it to hundreds. Okay, so right now you see, I mean, instead of here getting 1,000,000, like it's okay. I mean, it's going to work if you have like 10,000 or something. It still didn't work. So maybe we should set it to something even higher, you know, like 1,000 or something. Hey, sorry, I'm just like total confused. No, we have to set it to something smaller, so the number will be smaller, you know. And right now when I go here, you know, like instead of if I have 1, if I have hundreds, I have 1, and right now it's too small. Okay, we're going to have it some like this. Okay, so right now everything's colorful, but when I get real small, close to here, you know, you're going to see it's just like okay. When I get to the specific point, everything just turns black and white. Not black and white, just colorful. And then if I go and make it like 100, you know, like if there's a specific object here, and I'm like 100, I mean, just think about it. You know, like we have the square here, and if I'm just 100 meters far away from that, it's going to be like total gray. And when I get close to it, you know, like the distance is going to be 1, and everything's going to be colorful. And it's supposed to have like a cool transition, you know, like I'm just going to, okay, so I need to set this material in the runtime. Let me just go to the level blueprint. We could also do somewhere else, but like I'm just first going to try it at the level blueprint instead of I should probably just like save everything like real quick. So save all. Okay, so in the level, you know, like I'm not going to use event tick, because if I use it, you know, like it's going to update the scene like every frame. So I'm going to just add a delay and have it at something like 0.2, which is I think okay. So after getting it, you know, like I'm going to, not sure if it's gonna work or not. I'm going to add a reference to the post-process volume, you know, and I'm going to break it. No, it's not material. Set material. Okay, not the brush component. Set get material. Create dynamic material instance is, but I mean I don't want it for the brush component. I want it for, let me just check, post-process material. It is going to be a little complicated. So, material, new material, 1 underscore instance. Okay, and the optional name. Okay, so every 2 frames it's going to update it. Set set scalar value, and now okay, so I'm getting this material every single time, and then like create and setting a scalar parameter to it, and then that's going to be param and it's going to be the distance distance 2. Okay, no, I'm not going to be, I mean get distance 2. Okay, so first is going to be tool layer town, and the second object is going to be a reference to this sphere here in the scene. Okay, every single frame, I'm going to get not sure if it's gonna work or not. Like, I'll just give it a try right now. Okay, so right now you're going to see, I mean, I'm not even sure if everything's black and white in the scene, so I think nothing's black and white. So what's the reason it's not working? I don't want my player to start from that point, you know, like I'm just going to show that it says none trying to read. Okay, so I want to get let's just think about it. Or let's just Google it, you know, like that's what I'm going to do. Like, how do we control the post-process material in the runtime? So this is what we want to get. So. And like I said, you know, like this is me doing what I'm normally doing. How to control post-process material in runtime UE4. I'm going to check a couple screenshots, you know, like, I mean, okay, these are right now what I'm thinking is, you know, like, I mean, probably, you know, like we don't even supposed to bother ourselves with doing on the level material. I mean, I couldn't find it yet. Like, I mean, probably should have spent a little more time with the let me just think about it. So like, I'm just getting the camera position, and then here I wanna, instead of doing something like this, you know, like, I mean, maybe we may wanna get I mean, not the camera position, not the absolute world position, but instead of that, maybe we can just, like, I mean, instead of, like, let me just, I mean, it's not going to be probably real time, but let me just try it. So like, I just want to try it. So we're gonna add a 3 vector, and then this 3 vector is going to have the same location information like my sphere. I have no idea if it's gonna work or not, but like, I mean, that might be some yeah. So right now I edited the, okay, so where is the sphere right now? Okay, it doesn't work. Maybe it might work. So like, I mean, if I just, like, instead of like doing something like this, maybe if I just, okay, so maybe something like that. Maybe like a difference, but probably also not. Okay, so camera position maybe here, and then this definitely not going to work. Camera position. This is the position I'm subtracting that thing from. The problem with that, I mean, 5,000. No, this is, I mean, we had a wrong for that. we had a wrong location information. I mean, I'm not that sure if it's gonna work anyway, but still, I mean, let me just first check if it's gonna work with the correct location information. Okay, so this is the first thing, and then the second one is going to be when I get closer to it, nothing changes. Then instead of absolute world position, maybe we can just plug it into there, and then like the second one, the camera position is here. Now it has to get some kind of thing. Okay, so when my camera gets far away from here, no, still not working. Okay, so the reason it doesn't work is because I was supposed to multiply it like with a crazily small like number, you know, like I'm not doing that right now. Okay, so I think right now it's working. So like we just have to go back to multiply, and then instead of something like this, we can take it back to something like this. And then right now, you see, it's actually working. I mean, when we get close to here, okay, so this is way too extreme right now. But you know, like I mean, I'm trying to force the player to a specific point in the scene, and then I want that to happen when there's a specific position, and like when my camera gets close to that position, you know, like I wanna make something. And then this is okay. So first of all, we're going to create that effect like not when we get here, but we want that to happen like outside when we're far away from it, and then we want it to change like when we're close to it. So how do we do it? Instead of using something like this, we just want to divide this by, I think, 1, and then eventually, so divide. If I have 1000 here, okay, so if I am going to do, okay, let me just check if it's working or not. Okay, so sorry for that. I had a phone call. So I was just trying to figure out, like, you know, like, I mean, this is pretty much. I mean, so first of all, I'm gonna close this. So I mean, not quite. Okay, so this is let me just check, like multiply and then like getting like an absolute of that one. So save, let me just check. Okay, so when we are close to that specific location in the scene, everything will be great. But we want the opposite to happen. So, I mean, if you want the opposite to happen, uh, we could also just like, I mean, like probably this is going to be the easiest way to get it, you know, like the linear interpolation. You can just, didn't work. I was thinking about something else, you know, like this is, I mean, it has to interpolate between like 0 and 1, you know, like, I mean, when it's close to 0, it has to be 1, when it's close to well, maybe we can use a, so there's a clamp with a hardness. Okay, it's actually working. So like I wasn't sure if it's working or not, but it's actually working. So if I didn't, I mean, if I, instead of my camera position, if I use something else here, like, I don't know, like 000, it was probably going to, like, no, not 000. I mean, yeah, let me just check this real quick. Okay, so, okay. So instead of something like this, I wanna get something like that. Not actually, but like, you know, like just to see how the, or maybe, you know, like, let me just, vector from, yeah, it's called something else in every single software. So 3 vector, how do you combine vectors? No. Break, no. Vector. Make vector, right? Like, I don't know what's that called. So make vector? No, that's vectors. Vectors. How do I break it into? Okay, so. No, just let me just. Hey. Um, okay, so this is working. Let me just make sure here real quick. Okay, so this is the material, you know, like, and this is the, let me just check, it's a parameter right now. So okay, save, it's the same. So instead of like playing with this thing here, I'm going into the instance, and then there's the gates here. So like I'm just going to, okay, you see I can actually slide this thing here. I mean, this is the first thing I was trying to do, and the second thing I was trying to do was changing with the power of it. So like instead of hitting the, I'll just plug a scalar parameter and then power of gradient or something like that is what I'm going to call it, and then right click, that's already a parameter, so like that's in 0 right now. Of course I'm not going to leave it at 0. When I have it at 1, it's going to look something like this. Let me just play with the, okay, right now it's working. I mean, like if you just have it like real high, it's going to be something like this. If we just make it like real small, like I don't know, like 5 maybe, you're gonna see the gradient. No, like that's kind of cool. And then eventually we're gonna play with the location of the thing. Yeah. Okay, so this is working. And then I also want to play with the size. How am I going to play with the size of that thing? Okay, so size is basically this here to multiply. And then we're going to, I mean, but yeah, we can just keep it like that. Like we're going to add another scalar parameter and then call it the size. Okay. We're going into the scalar parameter, and then here the size, instead of something like this, we're gonna make something like, okay, so it's working, right? No. Okay, so right now it's super small, it's actually inverted. which is not super cool, but I mean it's playable. So like I mean it's at least I can just like come here, you know. I mean let me just instead of having it like this, you know, like I'm just try to make it something which will make sense. So divides, yeah. So divide, and then instead of here, I'm going to like, plug it here, 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 and then eventually this is one. Save. Go to material, and then size. If you set it high right now, yeah, it didn't work. 100,000. It's working. So like I mean, it's working as it should. So like, okay. So we can play with the size. We can play with the gradient. So we can have like 7. We can have 10. We can have 20. 200. Okay, this is also working. Wow. Working pretty good actually. So you know like what I'm trying to do in this game, you know like you're gonna start somewhere. I'm going to try to figure out to find a way to play with it. You know like you're going to start here somewhere, something like this. Of course the power of gradient is going to be some like, I don't know, like it's gonna be this 100 maybe, no, right? Yeah, this looks cool, right? You're gonna see something like this, and then as you move inside the scene, this thing will just change somehow, and then eventually when you complete the scene, it's gonna be total colorful. I mean, like first of all, it's going to be gray colors, and then eventually once you complete your specific task, everything's going to make sense. Okay, let me just change the size one more time to something real huge, so I can just like see everything in like white. Okay. Okay. 200, this is almost like centimeters, 100, 1000, and then we can change the location of the. And I can also change this to 10, so it will cooler, maybe even to 1. Just check how it looks. I mean, this looks real cool, right? We can have something like this, you know, like it will have a like super cool gradient. I mean, this is kind of way too much. Maybe we can have like 3000 instead, you know, you're gonna see that this area is gray and you're trying to light up the scene. So like which has a super cool kind of gradient. Maybe instead of 1 we can have it at 2. Okay. This looks nice. What was the next thing I was trying to do? Like I said, I wanna try with the. Okay, not the blend rate. Okay, so maybe we can check this forum page here. Not the blend rate. So like I wanna create a. Okay, so let me just check here. So make post-process settings is a cool idea, right? Delay, so make post process, make process settings. Okay, so which post process settings is going to be, and then make post process settings. This is not helping enough. Post process material. Set settings, maybe we can just have this, have a reference to it. Just select it. There's the level post process volume. Set settings, maybe. Okay, here we have the settings, right? And then if you check what is the name of that material, yeah. So we can, okay, we can choose a material here, and then this material is going to be like this. Post process. Okay, post process materials, and then on event gen, I wanna get a delay, and then I'm gonna create a post process dynamic material instance, and then this is of course going to be a dynamic material instance, and then I'm going to plug this here, which is not working. Okay, so this is actually, okay, so let me just break this here. Set dynamic, okay, so set dynamic, dynamic, This is a weird way, right? I mean, like, I wouldn't imagine needing to do something like this, but let me just check it if it's gonna work or not. Like, so we're going to open that. I mean, this is a real weird way because, you know, like on the event begin play, event begin play, you're going to create dynamic, create dynamic material instance, and then as parent, new material one underscore instance, and then we're going to set, but before setting that, like create dynamic set, set scalar, okay, so which is, I mean, the name is supposed to be, I mean, we have to check what the name is supposed to be, so the instance, and then this instance, let's say we want to change the size, so want to change the size, okay, so the change the size, and then after changing the size, we wanna set the no, this is I'm tired. I'm going to save now and close.